thoughts here. Of your 7 or 8 bowl games that you've been involved in, not counting the national championship games and stuff, what sticks out? What game, pre-Iowa State, what stuff sticks out to you?
Wow, what a question. I think probably the first one that I was able to go to, I think we went to the Rose Bowl in '88 with Coach Schembechler in Michigan. And, I think really, I guess in my own mind, learning how to work through it as a coach. I think those guys were the ultimate professionals when I was at Michigan. And I think those guys, the amount of effort that was put in as the staff, watching the players work, I think it kind of gave me a good handle of what really, as a young coach, how do you handle bowl games and still go have some fun and have success. And I think that was probably a great learning experience for me professionally.
What'd you make that game? Remember? You were a GA,
Oh,
right?
yeah, not very much. Probably just got some.
Like Joel's making 35.
Yeah, I think, as graduate assistants, I think we got enough to pay our tuition and a little bit of room and board probably. At the most. So whatever tuition would have been, that's probably what we got, and some room and board spending money. Not very much, Randy.
What do you see from the Notre Dame offense?
Well, I think, as you study them, I think, one, personnel, I think you see outstanding players, all over the field. I think their offensive line's tremendous. Quarterbacks playing at a high level, making great decisions. The wide receiver core, skilled. The tight ends are probably as good a group as we've seen all season long, and the running backs are big physical guys that work the ball downhill. So I think personnel you see. I think from a scheme standpoint, I think you see a really balanced team. I think, we go through our seasons and scout teams and break them down, and there's no breaking points, with Notre Dame's offense. I think those guys have done a tremendous job. They're never the same in anything. They do what their concepts are. They do a great job of those, and they really force you and put you in a lot of conflicts. They force you to be disciplined players. They force you to be in gaps. They force you to cover your people. They force you to play in zones, and it's a great challenge for our guys.
Obviously, you kind of are who you are defensively at this point in the year, just given you kind of know what the guys can do. But how valuable is the time leading up to the game when you know your opponent for that long that you can maybe take away things and figure out little things that might work?
Well, again, you hit it on the head. I mean, we've played this defense now a couple of years. I think we've sorted through, what our guys can and cannot do. I think it's been beneficial to get guys healthy. I think that's been a big benefit. I think we were really a beat-up team down the stretch, and I think the time has allowed our guys to get healthier, to allow us to do the things that we do. These guys force you to do different things. They don't let you just sit and play, hey, your defense. You got to do some things that are different, and we've had, thankfully, the time to help us do that. So, we do it. We are who we are. We're healthier than we've been. That's a plus. But at the same point in time, they force you, because of who they are a little bit, to do some different things. And at the same point in time, we're going to have to play our defense.
You mentioned the quarterbacks playing at a high level right now. What has allowed him to have success so far this season?
Well, I think, again, I think the whole picture, that sounds generic, but they didn't win as many games. They're not as successful, by just showing up. They got a great group of people that they're working with. I think the schemes are very, very high level. I think they do a great job with those, of keeping you in conflict as a defensive coach. And I think the combination of all those things, and then he has the ability to make plays last. He can make the play last in a run, and he can make the play last on a scramble. So, we've got to do a great job in those areas when we can. And, I think the bottom line is he's really a good player. He's a veteran guy out there that's very confident in what he does.
You were talking about injuries. Is Greg okay?
Yeah, everybody's, like I said, I think in all fairness, everybody's back as healthy as we've been in a long time. So look forward to all those guys are practicing, playing like crazy. And again, I think we're closer to full strength than we've been, for 5 or 6 games.
How much is Mike Rose's willingness and ability to switch positions this year been valuable to you?
Well, he's really a good player. Mike's a really good player. He's an unselfish player. And, we wouldn't have had some of the successes we had this season without him being able to switch a position. So I think good football players can play anywhere. I think we've been able to do that with Greg some at times, playing him at different safeties. And Mike's no different than that. It's really helped us a ton.
Does Book remind you when you've seen?
You know what? In fairness, it's a really good question. I think he's kind of a combination of the guys. You know, we talk him. You know, just in as far as teams concerned. You know, you look at Texas. You look at Baylor, quarterback. Little bit of Jalen Hurts, you know, in there for sure. So I think he's kind of a combination of all the guys that we've played. He kind of brings it all together. And again, I think that's what makes him really challenging. And I think he's really a good football player. Outstanding.
This is the last game, obviously, for Ray and Jamal in that middle. What have you seen from some of the young guys that, you know, will have the task of replacing them next year? Obviously, getting the drop base.
Well, I think, you know, I think our young guys have worked hard at skinning. And when you get a chance, that's the blessing of playing in bowl games is you get some extra time to work the development of your younger guys. I think, you know, I think Josh and Isaiah have done a great job in there, and our young kids. But, you know, again, this game is all about our seniors and all about Ray and Jamal and, you know, and Matt and those guys, Marcel, that group of seniors. I mean, that's really who our focus has been on. It's just, again, allowed us to get some reps in there with some of the other guys.
You've been around football for quite a long time, obviously. What are the differences between programs that can sustain going to bowl games each year, like Iowa State's starting to do, and programs that can't sustain that?
Well, you know, I think continuity of the head coach. I think the continuity of the staff. I think the administration is a huge factor in that. That all of those people are aligned. That to me allows you to do the things from a football standpoint that you want to do. And then I think, again, then through those concepts, through the administration, the head coach continuities, the assistant coaches, you get continuity in recruiting. And when you have the ability to continue to recruit it with the continuity, I think it makes you a better football team. Again, it allows you to play extra practices, get your extra practices. And with extra practices, you get to develop guys. And that's the one thing you notice when you didn't go to a bowl game the first year. That's 15 practices really that, you know, your kids get that they don't get. And I think those are the things to me that are the most critical things.
Have you talked to Tressel lately?
I have, sure, yep. I mean, just, you know, the usual, the Christmas things and congratulations and good luck. And I know he just got a new contract there, and congratulations to him. And, you know, just he's always been a huge mentor of mine. And, you know, he was a huge factor in how I coach and the way that I coach and all of those things. I've said it many, many times. If my son could ever coach for him or play for him, that's who I would want him to play for, and that's what I think of Coach Tressel.
Through the years, what's the biggest thing you notice of a team that goes to a bowl game, and then when you get back for winter workouts or spring ball, that team that doesn't? Because you mentioned it. You can notice.
Well, you're farther along. You just are. Your guys have gotten repetitions. You know more about them really than going through winter conditioning and wondering what can this guy do. You've gotten a bunch of practices to see what he can do. You're not guessing.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Great, appreciate you.